Okay. Looks like we're recording. We are. Okay, perfect. Welcome everyone to week 2 of our 4-week challenge. And hopefully you got a lot of good tidbits of information last week from the call. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it. In fact, I listened to myself again. I know that's crazy, but I actually got some good ideas from our last conversation that turned into ideas for this week. So you never know how that's going to happen. And for me, I learn by repetition. So me hearing myself back again, it caused me to reflect and say, okay, I forgot to cover this, or I need to cover this more in depth. And so if you haven't had a chance to listen to that though, we're just going to build off of what we covered a little bit last week. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So let me share my screen here. Come on, share. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. Let's see. There we go. All right, so last week, we did call our challenge the 4 weeks to a new you, and that is, oh my screen's going crazy, and that's because we're doing a 4-week quick, easy challenge, but I wanted to call it business mentoring this week so you guys know what my intention is. My intention is to teach you about building your own business. And we also want to be part of that process. So we want to help mentor you and get you to the point where you want to be. Now, each of you will take different paths. Everyone's journey will look different. And some people will travel quickly and some people will travel at more of a slow pace. And so just know that this is your show and this is how you want to build your business. Some people choose the slow road. Some people choose the fast road, depending on how much time you have. And it doesn't matter. It's whatever works for you. I know some of you are working full-time jobs and you only have a little bit of time, a part-time amount of time to spend building your business. And that's totally okay with us. And so wherever you're at, we're going to meet you where you're at and we'll just take you from there at the rate that you want to go. And I did put on here for doTERRA business leaders because you are business builders and business leaders for doTERRA. And listening to the call today with Karina and Sandy Truman, who Karina on our call last week was talking about how Sandy was the one that got her started in the business. She said so mmany amazing things, but she said, just build it, whatever it looks like to you, just build it however it looks to you. Everyone's going to be different. And I loved that. But she also mentioned that only about 5 to 10% of wellness advocates build businesses with doTERRA. So it's kind of it's a rare opportunity, just so you guys know that. It's rare to build a business with doTERRA. Not a lot of people choose to. We have about 90% of our company to 95% that are just using the product. So it is a huge opportunity. And so knowing that kind of got me a second motivation once Karina told me that I didn't have to sell, that I just had to share. And I was already doing that naturally. And then I heard that not very many people build a business with doTERRA. That got me on board even more. So just know that it is a rare opportunity. It's a great opportunity. Okay, so just a couple of reminders of what you should be doing each day and each week and each month that we're doing this challenge. So I put on here daily accountability. We're instead of doing the 10 to 10 texting that we were trying to do last week, but it was really hard to get everyone on board with it. We're going to now be posting to the Facebook page. And I've added you guys to that face challenge. If we're not friends yet, then we need to make sure we add you to that group. What you'll do is in the morning, you'll put on there, and we'll just have one post for the day. So I'm going to wake up super early and put what I'm doing for the day. So you guys can see that I'm serious about this and I'm doing the same activities that I'm asking you to do. And then I want you just to comment down below on that same post. So don't make a new post and a new something to read. Just go ahead and comment down below what you're going to be doing that day. And then at the end of the day, underneath your name, I want you, underneath your comment, you can add another comment to it, and I want you to say what you accomplished that day. Now you might not get all of it done, and you might have to move some of it to the next day. But shoot high, right? Shoot high and make it a great goal for that day. Some of you are doing part-time again, so maybe you're sampling one person and following up with one person, or maybe you're just listening to a great book on tape and you're going to listen to 2 or 3 chapters on your book on tape. So I believe in personal development, whatever the case might be. Just make sure it's a business building activity. And tell us what you're going to do that day. I know for me, like, I always have to be listening to something when I'm cleaning the house. I just can't hold still. I can't just, the quiet, I mean, we don't have a lot of quiet in my house, but when there is quiet, my girls are in their rooms doing their online school, and my little guy's at kindergarten. It gets really quiet. So I turn on something. There's always something on my computer or on my telephone, on my cell phone. So I'm constantly trying to update my skills as a business woman, but I'm also trying to update my skills when it comes to connecting with God and my higher power. So I want to learn about what God said to be doing that particular day in my life, and I get little tidbits from there. So we should always be trying to learn. So instead of doing the 10 to 10 texting, which we talked about doing, I think it's going to be much better, and we'll start this tomorrow morning. You can even start it today if you want when we get off the call. But I will post daily and tell what I'm doing that day, and you guys will comment down below. And make sure at the end of the day, you tell us what exactly you did get accomplished. So it is an accountability, but I think we do need to be accountable to each other. And I think that since it's going to be in a group now, there will be even more, it'll be more meaningful to be accountable to everyone on the group. But by reading their comments, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I totally need to do that. Why didn't I think about that? So it's going to be sharing amongst ourselves and learning and growing amongst ourselves. And then I did put some business building activities on here, such as giving samples. And I did bring my samples today to show you. These come from doTERRA, right? And this one is the trio, the sample trio. And it has lemon and melaleuca, not lemon, sorry, lavender, melaleuca, and peppermint in there. So these 3 you could hand out. I think I did the pricing on these, and they end up being about 80 cents to give out 3 of the most commonly used essential oils. Now, it doesn't have lemon, has melaleuca, but it's pretty cool that doTERRA made these for us. They're ready to go. Now, if you want to share on a smaller scale, I went ahead and for all the different booths and shows that we do, we let everyone pick out one sample. So I ended up cutting the top part of that sample off, and they can choose one little sample. Sometimes I give them 2. Make sure you put your name on the back of these. I have a show tonight that I'm doing this evening with Shannon and Tina and Kevin and hopefully Sahara. So the 5 of us are going to go to this business building networking meeting. It's basically an hour and a half, and you get to meet 150 different businesses. So we're going to go give them our business cards and see what we can do to connect with them. So I'm going to put little tiny return address labels on here. That's my job after we're finished today. And I'll put my contact information on here. So when I do give out a sample, that's a way to follow up. I'll probably also staple my business card to them. But I do have all the little samples already cut up and ready to go. So if you want to just give them one, then we're looking at just pennies. And also, this is the sample blend trio, and it's basically your cold and flu sample pack. And right now, doTERRA has these. They're buy one, get one free, just so you know. So I think I bought some yesterday. I didn't pay attention to prices. I think they were $16 and something cents for 2 packages of 10 each. That's 20 packages of the sample blends. I mean, the sample trios, just the lavender, melaleuca, peppermint. And then these were a little bit more. I want to say $21 to $24, but you get 2 packages of them. So again, 20 of them. And then you can also just cut this top off and then cut them into strips, into singles, and give them out that way. But I would keep these in your car. Kevin said he doesn't have a purse, but keep them in your man purse or your computer bag or in your jockey box, or keep them multiple places so that you always have them. And if you have multiple cars, keep them in the multiple cars. But if you give out the whole packet, make sure on the back that you put your contact information also. I've given out so many of these to my leaders that I haven't put stickers on. That's a good thing I didn't put stickers on, because then they'd have to take them off and put new one's on. So I give a lot of those out to my team members that are building locally. And if you want me to help you, let me know. I'm happy to help with some of those expenses, those startup expenses. And that's what this challenge is about too, is getting some startup money to help you build your business. And then I did want to say really fast before I forget that I have one person that texts me almost every single day, if not every day, and they did the 10 to 10 texting, and I only have one that did it every single day. And some of you probably didn't realize that we needed to start that immediately, but we did. And so that was my sister, Natalie. And so I'm going to be sending her $100 in free oils, and she can choose whatever she wants. And she didn't know that, but hopefully she's excited. She has a big event this weekend, so I'll get those in the mail to you, Nat. Let me know what you want. But I'm going to do this each week. I'm going to give away $100 worth of free essential oils to help you build your business, to make your samples, if you want sample packs, whatever the case might be. So hopefully that will motivate you to get going on this group Facebook page. And tell us what you're doing, because knowing that you're going to be helping us also to build our businesses and give us ideas, hopefully that will motivate you. So you can choose whether you're part-time or full-time. Oh, Natalie just texted me. She's so super sweet of you. So she didn't even know she was getting that today. You're welcome, Nat. But you can choose whether you're going to be full-time or part-time, and what it looks like, honestly. So I said earlier on the documents that you would give out one sample and do one follow-up if you're part-time, and you would do at least 2 of each, 2 samples and 2 follow-ups if you're full-time. So, but maybe if you're full-time and you're doing this as your only job, you have a lot more time to dedicate to it. Maybe you'll do 5 a day. I don't know. It's however fast you want to build your business. So check out the 4 Weeks to a New You Facebook group. It's already been created. It's there. And look to start on that tomorrow. And then the weekly group call, you're on it right now, so good job. And some of you will listen to the recording later. The weekly individual mentoring call with your mentor or mentors. I want to connect with you and your upline leader that's in between you and I. So let's get that going on a group text message, but also on a weekly group call. Let's get those scheduled pretty soon. And I want to know your monthly goal for this challenge. So whether it's to be a director, a manager, an executive, an elite, whatever the case might be, but shoot at least one higher than what you've already achieved is what I want for you. And then in order to qualify for any commissions, a reminder that you need to have 100 PV in your cart at all times during the challenge. Then you can see how many people you get commissions from by the end of the month. I always set mine at like the 28th. I think it's the last day you can choose. Then I would look when I first got started. I never look at it now. I process my order before the 15th now because I want the free product of the month, right? Which is a free aroma touch this month. And I think mine's going to Iowa to Kendra so that you'll have that. I think you'll get one from Chris too. We talked about this yesterday. So I didn't even realize that was the free product of the month because I haven't done my newsletter. Don't tell. Newsletter will be coming out in the next couple of days. But you do need to have your order set at 100 PV in order to qualify for those commissions. Even if you haven't processed that order yet, you can process it by the end of the month. Have it set there, because if someone enrolls, you won't get paid commissions if you have like $5 in your cart. So just make sure that that's set right now. If you want to, while you're on the line with me, you can go ahead and set that. Put 100 PV of possibilities into your cart right now. Okay, and I just wanted to remind you to give samples. Let the oils speak for themselves, because that's really how I got started, is Karina telling me that I didn't have to sell. I just had to share, and I was already doing that. And so it's huge, right? It's just give out samples. But the main thing we need to worry about is the follow-up. So on the call today, Sandy said, do you know how many people that I didn't follow up with? Because she's kind of the one that in their relationship, because Boyd's the one that's really building the business, but she is a huge support. And she actually has got a lot of business builders to Boyd and let him train them. But she says, do you know how many people I didn't follow up with? Like my closest friends I didn't follow up with, and they're on someone else's team. And I thought, oh my goodness, that would be so hard if your closest people are not on your team, that they're on someone else's, and it will happen. So just know that if you don't share with people, someone else will, and you'll have that regret, and that regret is hard. So don't be afraid to speak up, give samples, and then follow up with them. And kind of a common follow-up is within 2 to 3 days, but oftentimes I usually want to give them enough product that it lasts them about a week, and then I check back about 7 days later. And so, but when you sign someone up, when you enroll someone, what you want to do is you want to tell them, exchange numbers, make sure you each have each other's contact information, and then say, as soon as you receive your essential oils, your essential oil kit, will you please contact me, and I will come over and do a wellness consultation with you, because you want to make sure that they know how to use the oils. I mean, the oils don't just sit there in their cupboard, right? They're actually getting the lids taken off and people are using them. So a wellness consultation is huge, and I think that if you guys can get in the habit right now of doing that follow-up, right as soon as you sign someone up, within a few days of them getting their kit, you'll have members for life. It really does make them feel appreciated, and if they have the knowledge to use the oils, they're empowered, and so they just keep ordering. You'll have a loyal customer, and maybe even a business builder in the future because of your efforts. All right, this is just review from last week, just so we can cover our bases. What is your why? Why do you want to build a doTERRA business? Do I have anyone on the line that would be willing to share their why they want to build a doTERRA business? Anyone that's willing to share? Maybe? Anyone? You'll have to unmute yourself if you want to. You don't have to, but we'd love to hear from you if you have a why. Come on, I told mine last week, right? Everyone's is different, and I love hearing the differences between our stories.
Aim?
Yes.
Part of my why is my family, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Health and wellness for us, and I loved Sandy's talking today. Just that everybody needs the oils, and if we don't, who will?
Right. If we don't,
like she talked about it. Yeah, if we don't share, then these people that need these oils aren't going to get them. And she talked about a teacher that was going to retire because she had IBS, and it was horrible, and she'd been to every kind of specialist, and they said, basically, you're just going to have to like stay home and deal with it. They didn't have an answer for her. And Boyd said, or Sandy mentioned it to Boyd, and he said, you know, she's got an inflamed colon, give her this and this and this, Terrazyme, Digestin, on, and she's teaching still, and she's fine. Mm-hmm. And so we never know who we're going to touch, and they need the oils, so we need to open our mouth.
Right. Yeah. And that's so empowering to hear her story about that, you know, just even that one little story. And they have thousands of stories. They have over 1 million people on their team. That was their goals. They wanted to reach 1 million people in their organization. They might even have more than that, but I know that 1 million was their goal, to have that many advocates, and we're all part of their team. And so we're some of those numbers of that million, but it's way more than that now, because they have a business in Korea and China and all these different places. I believe Boyd speaks Mandarin Chinese, I want to say, and so he knows the language, and he goes over there quite often. So what is your why? Is to help your family, right? First of all, with your health and with your finances, but also to help other people, because there are people that are not getting answers other places, and we meet them every day. I meet them every day, they've given up. They've given up hope. They've given up living. I mean, it's affected their lives that much that they don't even want to live sometimes, you know. So that's kind of scary, right? That we have this awesome product that we could share with them. So don't hold back. Share with as many as you possibly can. Social media is a great way to get the word out there quickly that you're doing a business with doTERRA. I would put it out there. And that is one thing that she said too, Nat. I don't know if you caught that at the beginning. She said, let everyone know that this is what you're doing. Because if you don't, then someone else is going to come in and talk about it to them. But you have to put it out there. You can't be closet oil users like they were for a long time. They were using the other brand that doTERRA stemmed from. And people started noticing that their kids weren't sick. They're like, why are your kids never sick? They never miss school. They never miss church or activities. Like, why are they never sick? And so finally they started telling, and Sandy said, the secret is out. The secret's out of the bag, Boyd. She told him, she said, we can't go back now. Everyone knows our secret. So we shouldn't be keeping it a secret, right? We need to get out there and share it. Does anybody else want to tell us their why you're doing doTERRA? Anyone? Maybe not. Got some shy people here. What's that?
Maybe they will.
Maybe they'll feel comfortable next week. Okay, we'll move on. So I was going to ask the next question to everyone. What is your life dream or goal? Maybe you had dreams before doTERRA. I think I shared a couple of mine last week with me wanting to get a master's degree. I've just always wanted, my first goal was, just get an associate degree. Okay, I got that. Now what? I want to get my bachelor's degree. And then I think if I have a master's degree, I'd be fine. I don't have any desire to get a doctorate degree and write that, whatever, 25, 30 page, 50 page thesis. But a master's degree has kind of always been on my back burner. And then, I just have other business ideas. I've got so many in my head. It's exhausting. Like, I have so many ideas of things that I could do, but doTERRA could be that fuel for those businesses. And, a lot of them, almost every single one of them, are centered on doTERRA products. Like my food business, I would use doTERRA products in my food business to make it taste amazing, but also to give it nutritional value. So, yeah, you just never know where life is going to take you, but what are your life dreams or your goals, maybe outside of doTERRA or within doTERRA? Does anyone have anything to share there? Anyone? I know that Kendra's on the line, and I just spoke with Kendra. Chris and I talked to her yesterday. So I will just tell you a little bit about Kendra if I can. I hope she doesn't mind that I'm sharing this. But she has a massage therapy license degree. I'm not sure which one, but she is a massage therapist, and she's also an esthetician. So she has 2 huge certificates under her belt that could help her and she's a mom, right? We're all moms. And so we could attract, not all of us, Kevin's on the line, or any of our males, but we're parents, right? So we have that card too, to put forward that we have used them and tested them on our children. And so I was telling Kendra yesterday, I'm like, oh my goodness, you have 3 expertise that you could be sharing with people, using the oils on your young children, using them in your massage. And she's actually Aroma Touch certified. And so she could be she uses them for the Aroma Touch, and she could use those a lot more. And then she's working right now for a dermatologist, and she's putting her esthetician degree to good use. So just things like that. Like, she never knew that doTERRA would come into her life and it would be such a huge part of her life, but she gets to use her past experience and her present experience to expand on her future, right? So I'm very proud of her for doing all of those particular certifications and just improving her life for her family. So those are just some examples. Hopefully that helps you. But what is your life dream or goal within doTERRA or maybe outside of doTERRA that doTERRA can help to fuel that goal? We talked about our target market. Maybe I could ask this question. I'm almost done with the interactive part, I promise. But who is your target market? Will you be working with individuals mostly? Will you be working with businesses mostly? Or maybe the two of them together? You'll be working with both. Does anyone want to share what their plan is with this 4-week challenge and who their target market is?
Okay, me, Chris, I'm doing it.
Yay, Chris, thank you. Sorry for me.
I think that like for this 4 weeks, it's a lot of individual for me. It's like following up with people that I should have been following up with. And they're not members. In fact, I'm trying to sign someone up on a Facebook chat right now.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And so,
That's awesome.
somebody, they text me and they say, I need some On Guard and I need it now.
Oh, wow.
And how can I get it? And I'm like, well, you could sign up and get the 100 free,
Oh, I love
So
that.
anyway, so I'm following up with people, and I really like to do small groups and one-on-ones, and I think I'm going to be doing a lot of one-on-ones because I don't have a class scheduled until in March.
Okay.
So I really like doing that because it's more personal, and you can really you can find out about the other person, get to know them, and I think you can really help them a lot if you do a one-on-one.
Right. I love that.
So that's my plan.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Well, one-on-one is basically like a wellness consultation beforehand versus waiting to sign them up and then get their product and then do a one-on-one, like a wellness consultation. So you're just doing it ahead of the ball game, which I really think is a great idea. So thank you for sharing that. And I did want to mention that in our conversation with Kendra and Chris yesterday, Chris mentioned that she does like the smaller classes and she wants to limit it to so many people so that she feels like she can get around to everyone and talk to everyone, because she has taught classes that are overwhelming. There's too many people and you just can't get to everyone. So I really like that. So what they decided Kendra and Chris are going to do for their upcoming classes, they're going to have people RSVP and let them know that if you can't be there, then we're going to fill your seat with someone else's chair until you can come. So it makes it kind of have a new urgency, maybe, just, oh my gosh, they're doing this. I don't want them to do this without me. Me and my sister talk about this all the time. We have this thing that we call fear of missing out, right? So what are they going to talk about? I don't want to miss out on what they're going to talk about. I want to fill my own seat. I don't want somebody else to take my seat. So that's what I would be saying if I was Chris and Kendra's audience. And so definitely, I love those ideas of just limiting it. And you can do that with the Class in the Box kit. You can order the Class in the Box kit that has the 10 wild orange. And basically what you tell them is you give them an invitation to your event and you say, okay, so the first 10 people that walk in the door, you can come early too. The first people that walk into the door get this wild orange. And let me know if you can't be there, because I'll give your invitation because I only have so many invitations. You can even make it sound like you only have 10 invitations. I think they give you 15 or 20. I can't remember. I just got a new Class in the Box kit the other day, but they give you a lot of invitations, but you could say, I only have 10 invitations. I only have 10 chairs. And so if you can't come, will you let me know and I'll give your invitation to someone else? That also creates that urgency. But if they know, okay, she's inviting 10 people and we each get a wild orange if we come on time, and I'm totally on board on coming, so I get a free product just for coming. I don't have to do anything. So you're basically giving them their prize drawing at the very beginning, right? So I like that idea too. And then my friend Liz, one time, with a cool little incentive to get people to come to her classes. And I actually thought of it, but then she utilized it. She's used it the most. I've only used it once, but you take them an empty container that has your label on it of what you're going to make for that class. And you give that to them with the invitation. And you say, if you come to the class, you get the ingredients to this container. And of course, they're gonna be like, oh, I want a free prize. So they'll come, hopefully, but then also say the same thing. Like, well, if you're not gonna come, let me know and I'll come and get this empty bottle and give it to somebody else. So it does create kind of that, oh, what are they gonna make? I wanna know what the contents are. Like, here's this cute label. What's going inside? It would drive me insane. I'd have to go, for sure. So that's an idea to get people into the seats of your classes. Anyone else that maybe is going to work with businesses? Anyone? Hello? Well, I gave you lots of ideas last week. Feel free to pipe in while I'm talking, but I gave you a ton of ideas about using the diffuser loan. I love that idea. I love the referrals. You know, just there's so many things you can do. If you know a business that carries product, why not talk to them about carrying doTERRA products there? I just spoke with my chiropractor friend the other day and I was like, do you have a display in your office where you do all of your adjustments? Do you have a display? And he's like, I just have this little tiny shelf and usually there's other things on it. I was like, can I work on getting you a display, like a really cool manly display, like some Deep Blue and other products on there? And he said, sure, yeah. And the whole reason why he hasn't displayed them this whole time, like in 2 years, 3 years, is because he hasn't had a place to put them. Like, so following up, right? Definitely following up and seeing what you can do to help. And so I'm thinking already like it needs to be something totally manly, like with wood and maybe some galvanized pipes or something, because I want a shelf for my own house that has that. So I'm like, I'll just build 2 while I'm at it. So any other thoughts on that? Working with individuals or businesses? Okay, we'll move on. So what is our essential oils, right? The products themselves. But remember that we are an essential oil company and we really should be talking about the oils first and foremost, and then the products second of all, right? Because we are an essential oil company and that's what we want to be known for. But we have so many products that are made with the essential oils. So both are relevant, but first and foremost, I like to share the oils. And if you don't share with your community, someone else will. Just another reminder. But how you share is your own different journey. What did I do here? I guess I have a blank one. Where do you share? Everywhere. I gave the example of Walmart, you know. This is really funny, but the other day I was at Walmart and I didn't have anything on that was doTERRA. I didn't have my jacket, nothing. Usually I have at least my jacket on. And so I realized I'm like, I need to keep a t-shirt in my car. So when I go to Walmart, I am prepared. Like I don't mind changing out my shirt and putting my doTERRA shirt on to walk into Walmart because it might strike up a conversation, you know, spray yourself really heavily with essential oils when you walk in the door before you walk in. So you just never know where that opportunity is going to come. Sandy told the story today on the call with Karina that she went to get a facial the other day. How would that be? Just go get a facial, right? That would be awesome. I don't have a facial anywhere in my future schedule, but I would like one. I would like to go be pampered. But she was there and in the waiting room while she was waiting to get her facial, she started talking to all the women around them. I can't remember if she started using one of the products or she just smelled really good or whatever the case might be. And she had people that were like 5 people that were writing down her contact information to get a hold of her before. I mean, she's there for a facial. So you just never know where you're going to meet people. And don't limit your circle of influence. I wanted to give this example of my friend Shannon Kading. This last summer, she's a school teacher. She took the whole entire summer. In fact, she started in the spring and even went into the fall. And she took about 6 months and she just did a whole bunch of trade shows. And they were like health and holistic fairs. And she signed up and she spent a lot of money getting to different fairs. Like she went to Ohio and that's where she met Chloe. We had Chloe on the line last week. I'm not sure if she's joined this week, but We had Chloe on the line last week, and you just never know who you're going to meet. Like, you might just find that one dynamic person, even though you've traveled thousands of miles to go to a fair. I mean, Shannon just put herself out there, and that's how she chose to build her business. She's like, I'm going to go to these different places where I want to build businesses, and I'm going to find contacts. And so you just never know where you're going to be taken, right? But be willing to travel and expand your circle. Okay, so I said on there now is our when, right? Right now is the time that don't have any regrets like we all do, but me especially, I have that 4-year regret that Karina asked me for 4 years to come and join her. And I just kept telling her no, till the one day when she said those magic words, you don't have to sell. It was such a stigma for me because I have an older brother that's been in tons of sales businesses, and he always tries to get everyone in the family involved. And we're just like, oh, here's the next big thing. And so I just vowed that I would never do anything sales related. And so 4 years, it took me 4 years to get started. And I wish I could have those 4 years back now, but no regrets, right? The time is now, the future is, the present is here, and the future is still to come. So. And then the how, it's however you decide, whatever your business, whatever you want it to look like. And I did put on here, you are the CEO of your own life and your own business. And CEO can also stand for Chief Executive Oiler, right? Instead of officer. So you can be your own CEO. And that's what I love about it, is you get to own your own business. Okay, so a couple of questions for you here. And this is kind of getting into the nitty gritty, and I want you to really dig deep on these. Do you desire success? Do you desire freedom? And we'll talk about the different types of freedom here in just 1 second. But do you desire to be successful? Or did you wake up one day and say, I just want to be mediocre. I just want to be a low achiever. I don't know. I'm just being facetious here. But, I mean, most of us don't wake up every day and say, I just want to be a low achiever. I just want to be okay. I just want to be so-so. Someone's, so-so, okay. In the middle, mediocre. Most of us want to achieve, right? We want to be successful. We desire different freedoms. And then this is the hard one. Do you deserve success? Do you deserve freedom? Start with deserving success first. I know that some of us have taken different paths in our lives that we wish we could take back, or, we have regrets, and we have paths that we've went on and we're like, okay, yeah, that's not for me. And we've wasted time, we've wasted energy, and we're mad that we made that decision, or we're living in the past and we're living with regret, right? And so we don't feel like we deserve success nowadays. We don't feel like we deserve that. I'm here to tell you that we do deserve that. We do deserve to have success and freedom in our lives. And the ultimate healer, we already said this in our last call, the ultimate healer is God. So take your concerns and your regrets to Him, lay it out on the ground or wherever for Him, and know that that's going to be taken care of, right? But you do deserve to be successful. You do deserve to have freedoms in your life. So you can have a change. You can have a shift. You can have a shift in your thoughts and in your desires, and thinking that you do deserve success. Now, one thing I will tell you is, in the past, I know that I've done this. This is hard for me to say, but I'm going to say it. I was okay with being okay, right? I just thought, well, I have achieved more than my parents have achieved. I have finished high school. My mom didn't finish her high school. She got her GED like 10 years ago, right? I finished high school. I went to college. I finished college. I'm already, neither one of my parents went to college. I have a degree. I taught for 12 years. I had a successful career. I have a successful career in doTERRA. But, before even doTERRA, I was like, I have more than my parents had, and so I'm successful, right? But I wasn't reaching my full potential. I put a cap on it where, oh, sorry. Avery, get your dog, hun. Avery just made a noise and the dog thinks there's someone at the door. So I think that was you making the noise, right? So I put a cap on what I could achieve. I'm like, okay, I've already reached my, good potential. Like, I'm okay. But I didn't reach higher. I didn't raise that ceiling up a little bit higher to achieve more. And so I call that, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, goodness. It's generational, but poverty mentality, basically. So I was okay because I had done better than my parents, but I still was not completely successful. I hadn't reached what I personally wanted for myself. I reached what I thought everyone else wanted for me, right? So I had this poverty mentality that I've done better than my parents have done financially. So I'm okay. But we need to reach up to the next level. So think about that. Do you deserve success or freedom? And the answer is yes, you do. So don't tell yourself that you don't. Don't live in the past. Don't live in with regret. Just focus on the present and where your future is going to take you. Because we've all made mistakes. We've all done things we wish we could retract and take back. And we wish we would have taken a different path. Instead of going here, we wish we would have went here. We've all done it. So just drop it, let it go, and let's move forward. Okay, so let's talk about health freedom. Do you have any health concerns you would like to change right now? I know some of you probably do. You probably have some issues, whether it's like Sandy said today, irritable bowel syndrome. I know my brother-in-law has diverticulitis, right? He struggles with that daily. You might know someone that's pre-diabetic or someone that has arthritis, right? Maybe that's you. Maybe you have your own health concerns. But if you could be your very best you, what would that look like? So think about that right now. Like if you could be your very best you, what would that look like, right? I know we make decisions daily. We make decisions on how we take care of ourselves, and some of us don't take care of ourselves that well. And I would challenge you to do that because you have other people relying on you for their future. They want you to be around for them. But I mean, I don't want to cut my life short, right? I want to have the best health and wellness that I can now, but in the future. So I'm in my 40s, early 40s, and maybe I'm halfway to my end of my lifespan. Maybe I'm even further than that in my lifespan. Maybe I'm 2/3 of the way to my lifespan. But for me, I would like to think that I'm going to live at least another 40 years into my 80s. That's my goal, right? That's something that I want for myself. And so think about that, your own longevity and what you want for yourself. And doTERRA has the products to help us get there. We might have them in our cupboard. We're not even using them. And I had that situation for a long time. I just let them sit there. So I'm like, I'm good. I got my diet. I eat pretty well for myself. But I've been using the LLV for a long time now. And it's mostly I use it as an insurance policy in case I didn't get that particular nutrient that particular day. But I do have a great diet and I make good choices. But some of us don't, and that's on us, right? Like maybe ask yourself, how long do you want your lifespan to be? What do you want your longevity to look like? If you have good health, is there anyone that you know that would do anything for even one day of relief from their poor health? And will you help them, right? So think about that. It's not only our own health freedom, but we're helping other people to get their health freedom. And our energy freedom. Do you wish there was a magic pill to give you more energy? Do you ever wonder how you'll get through this particular day? Do you use caffeine or other substances to get you through your day? Do you ever feel pulled in a million directions? Do you feel like a hamster on a wheel running in circles but getting nowhere? I love that one. You feel like you're on the hamster wheel, spinning, spinning. Are you tired of working 1 to 2 jobs and barely making ends meet? So there are people out there, right? So we want to be able to help them to just narrow it down to doing 1 or 2 little jobs, right? Not spreading themselves out so thin that they have no energy at the end of the day. So maybe look at your caffeine and other substances too, because I know a lot of people are like, I gotta have my coffee in the morning. And if I drink coffee, it's with my husband, but I buy a decaf so that I'm not jittery and crazy, because it does crazy things to me. I love the taste of coffee, but I drink decaf because I know that it gives me heart palpitations. So that can't be good for my health, right? So just think about that. Let's maybe concentrate on one or two forms of expending our energy into turning it into an income for us. Time freedom. Are you punching the clock? Are you building someone else's dream? What if you could be in complete control of your schedule? Could you take 1 month or more off right now and still get paid? You know, over when I was moving, I had to take 1.5, like 6 weeks off to move out of the old house and move into the new house. I still got paid to do that, right? In the summertime, if I want to take time off because my husband's off of his job, I can take off a week at a time and I still get a paycheck. This is the biggest perk for me personally, is setting my own schedule each day and being the CEO. And I even put it here, the chief executive oiler of my own business, right? So I get to set my own schedule every single day. If I want to take 2 hours off and go to the park with my son, I do. And that's the great thing about it. This is the main reason why I'm doing this business. And then the last one is, do you wish you could improve your financial situation? Tell us how much it would take to improve your current income. Use this formula: what you currently make minus what you need or want to make, and whichever number is the highest of those two, and you'll come up with your magic number. So hopefully you know what that number is, and then we can plug that into the doTERRA rank scale, and we can say, okay, so you need to get 10 people to join your doTERRA business if this is all that you need, or you need 15 people or 20 people or 30 people in your organization to help you to be able to do this, to be able to come home from your job, or to maybe put down one of your part-time jobs and just focus on another part-time job in doTERRA, whatever the case might be. And so that's all about you at the top. But then I asked, do you know anyone that could use extra income? And if I asked myself this question today or 5 years ago, do you know anyone that is financially independent, that doesn't need anything? They have everything that they need. In my own circle, I didn't know anyone like that. I do now. I'm surrounded by doTERRA people that are financially independent and financially they're independently wealthy, you know. So, but before then, I didn't know anyone. I know everyone's struggling in my circle. Everyone needs more. And so, do you wish you could help them improve their financial situation? So it really, and I love this, that Karina said last week when she was talking about the power of three, structuring to the power of three. She said, take the focus off of you and don't worry about if you're going to get your $1,500 bonus. You worry about helping your leaders get their $250. Because that's life-changing too, even just that extra $200 or $300 a month. And then it helps you. And that's my whole focus is with this whole challenge, is to help you guys just get where you need to be, to help you right now. And then hopefully you'll take the next step with me and we'll get you a little bit further down the road to your goals. So never be afraid to talk to anyone about the opportunity to improve their finances. So a lot of people will only talk about doTERRA as the health aspect of it, but don't be afraid to talk to someone about the financial freedom that they could receive. So while I'm here, I asked Karina if she could be on our call today, but she had her own call and then she had to go pick up Tate from school. So, and I think she had one more call after our call, so she couldn't get on with us, but I wanted her to talk about how she brought her husband home from his job, and maybe we can get her on another week. But I did talk about how much, Blue Diamonds make, and she has a Blue Diamond. And just so you guys know that she makes anywhere between, I'll just put it out there so that you know, but she makes anywhere between $35,000 and $50,000 a month on doTERRA. Now, she brought her husband home from his job probably 10, I think they're younger than us, so maybe 10 or 15 years before he was retirement age. He's probably 20 years, honestly. If he was going to work until he's about 65, it'd probably be 20 years early. He's probably already been working 20, but most people don't work 30 years anymore. They work 35 or 40. And so that was huge for him to be able to come home from his job. And he had a business with his dad and brothers. They had this, this business where they repaired homes and businesses that had smoke or water damage. So if there was any kind of a flood or a fire or any hazard, then they went in and rebuilt the structures. And they had, before that, they had a home building construction business before that. So his brothers and his dad have had to buy him out of that business, and he gets money from that too. So they're very financially independent and set. And also Karina is a U.S. founder for doTERRA. So she was one of the first 25 people in doTERRA to hit gold, the gold rank, and that secured her for the rest of her life. I mean, my family could survive on just her bonus that she gets every year for being a founder of the company. And that's just a little bonus that doTERRA gives those 25 people in the U.S. So, and then just to let you know, because I didn't jump on board right at the time, but 7 of those U.S. founders came out of my neighborhood. They lived within a quarter of a mile of me. And I remember hearing that Boyd worked for a health and wellness company, and I just wish I would have jumped on board then. But I thought that he worked for them, like he was a sales rep, and I didn't want to leave my job and all that stuff. But I didn't know he was doing what we're doing right now. I probably would have asked more questions. And so, but not living with regret, not living in the past, right? But I want you to know that some people do need that financial relief. And so they're probably, one of just a couple of people that I know that don't have to worry about money. Even if they don't work ever again, their residual income will be that right the current moment where they're at, and it will probably continue to grow. Even if they did nothing else, it would continue to grow. So think about that for your own knowledge, that you're building an income for now, but it's a residual income that's always going to be there. And if you think about retirement age, right? Retirement age, what do you get? You get usually half, 50 to 60% of your highest earning year, your highest paycheck. And so can you survive on that for 20, 30 years after, you retire? Most people don't live that long, but I would hope that I would. I just have this really positive vibe. I'm going to live for a long time and outlive everyone. But think about that. How much money would you honestly need to retire? And will your retirement even cover a fraction of what you actually need? Because it doesn't allow for, what else I'm looking for? Inflation. There we go. So it doesn't cover inflation and the cost of living that keeps going up. So think about that. And then I wanted to talk to you about what the difference is between successful people and unsuccessful people for just 1 second. Because I always wonder, why are they so successful? How are they different than myself? And I got the answers really fast. I read a couple of really good business books. And this is one of the quotes from it. It says that successful people are willing to do all of the things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do. So it's the mundane tasks of the day, following up with people. Okay, it's not probably your favorite thing to do, right? But it's a healthy habit that you're in that's going to help people come over to your team. Maybe you don't like to do it, but they don't like to do some of the things that they do, but that's the reason why they're successful, is they do those mundane tasks every single day. They're consistent, they're persistent, and they keep going. So I have a little chart here of unsuccessful people. We'll start with them. And there's just a few traits here. They think they know it all. They try to bring others down to their level. They stop learning. They think, say, and do negative things, blame others, secretly hope other people will fail. They don't know what they want to be when they grow up. They have a sense of entitlement, always angry towards others, never set goals, get distracted every day, take the easy way out, criticize, waste their time, fear change, give up easily, talk more than they listen, act before they think. So, and they hoard information. If they have a secret, they're not going to tell you about it. They're going to hoard that information and keep it to themselves. So that's the traits of unsuccessful people. And the habits of successful people is that they track their progress, they learn from their mistakes, spend time with the right people, they're surrounded by good people, right? They maintain proper balance in life, write down goals and targets, think long-term, compliment others, make to-do lists, know their purpose and their mission, want others to succeed, accept responsibility for their small failures or their things that they, because they're going to fail, right? that they're successful, but they still have small failures. They embrace change. They talk about ideas, forgive others, exude joy, share information and data. They are humble, handle problems well, take risks. They learn, improve, and read every day. They work with passion and commitment and have a burning desire. So you can see they're completely polar opposites, right, of between successful people and unsuccessful. So are you willing to do those little things that set you apart? Gosh, I'm trying to think of the name of the book. It's out on my shelf in my garage, but I'll have to get you the information from next week for next week's call. But it was a really, really good book, and it changed my life. It basically said, if you'll just add an extra 10% of what you're already doing, if you add an extra 10% to that, you'll get so much further ahead down the road. Like, you gave an example of, if you read 10 pages of a book daily, just 10 pages, that will take you like 5 to 10 minutes, right? You read like 15 to 20 books a year. And I thought, okay, I can do that. I can read 10 pages a day. And so I've been reading the Bible, but also these other self-help books. One that I'm reading right now, I just barely started, is Go Pro by Eric Worre. So that's a really good one so far. So, they want to learn. People that are successful want to learn. They want to keep going. They want to keep growing. So, oh, there we go. Natalie just told me The Slight Edge. That's what it's called, The Slight Edge. And it's really good. Let's see if there's anything. Thanks, Nat. She just texted to me. That is what it's called, The Slight Edge. So you just have to do a little bit more, slightly more than the average person, and you'll be more successful. Imagine what you would achieve if you added an extra 90% instead of an extra 10%, right? You'll get much further along as you go. So everyone must choose one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. I love that quote. So which one do you want? The pain of discipline or the pain of regret? And then this is from Stephen Covey, of course. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is to be proactive, begin with the end in mind. So see yourself in 10 years. What does that look like? Where will you be? Put first things first. So even though we know we don't like following up, maybe before we sample people, we'll actually follow up with people instead of giving the samples, because maybe the sampling is the fun part to them and the following up is not the fun part. So start with the hard. Start with the things that you don't want to do those first, and then work your way into the fun things. That's kind of what I've learned to do. Think win-win, let both parties win. Seek first to be understood, and then to understand, and then be understood. So, and this just happens. And so same with the sharpening the saw and synergizing. You just need to be learning constantly, be constantly developing yourself personally and professionally. So keep reading, keep learning, keep growing, keep going, right? Okay, so I love this. No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. So, get up at the beginning of the day, and like the first 3 hours of my day are just crazy, right? Like if I don't hurry and get up before my kids get up, I don't have a very good day. So I try to get up. My husband wakes me up every morning like 7 a.m. And that's not bad. I should be getting up probably at 6:30. That means I need to go to bed earlier. But he wakes me up because he's noisy and he's slamming cupboard doors and he's getting ready for work. And so the days that I get right up and get showered and get moving, get a start on my day are much better days than if I don't. If I'm like, stay in my pajamas till noon, whatever, right? So get up, get dressed, dress up, because I think that I know it's proven psychologically that if we dress to fit the part of how we want to be portrayed in other people's, we want people to look at us and that's how they think of us, then we act that way, right? But we also feel much better about ourselves. Our esteem is through the roof, and we just make further greater progress faster. So dress up for the ladies, put on some lipstick. For the men, put on some cologne and put on a tie maybe, I don't know. But show up for people. That's what they want. They want us to show up for them and be available and then never give up. And then I just added this, show up and serve. Like if you take the stance that you're just there to serve, and it is your ministry, it's what you do, then it's not a job, right? It's fun. Like I get to go serve. Who am I going to serve today? Who do I get to be in contact with today and make a difference in their lives? And so the successful person would have a long list, right? An unsuccessful person would be more selfish and say, no, I don't have time to do that today, and worry more about themselves. So hopefully this helped you, seeing the differences between successful and unsuccessful people, and that you want to take the higher road, right? Let me stop the share really fast. Okay, so we've been on exactly an hour. I'm going to go ahead and close out the call, the recording. So stay on and we'll chat for just 1 second. But I wanted to thank you for joining us today and for being a part of this challenge. And it is a short challenge. So we have 1 week down and we have 3 to go. It'll go really fast. And so thank you for staying the course and being part of this. And let us know how we can help you, because that's what we're here for, is to help you to learn and to grow. So let me hurry and push stop on this, but have a great week, and I'll see you on the Facebook page.